Hello and welcome to another episode of LFTR Diaries. Today is all about our beloved truck Larry. We'll tell you all about the truck itself, how we got our rack set up, all the things we managed to take along with us in our travels, and why the heck we're towing an Airstream with a dually. This week we're coming to you from Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, after a lot of driving from Madison, Wisconsin, and our first ever Cracker Barrel stop. Next week we'll tell you all about our time in Lexington and our experience as a family at the Railbird Music Festival. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
So, you already saw our Airstream tour, but we didn't talk about our truck. Okay, so our truck that we've had for a couple years now, it pulled the Cougar and now pulls the Airstream. Yeah, it's getting up to 3 years probably. Is a 2021 Ram 3500 Laramie dually diesel long bed. It's hard to get all that out. We really like this truck. In fact, we thought about getting a smaller one when we got the Airstream, but it doesn't make sense. We love driving it. We especially love, with the diesel, the exhaust brake, going over mountain passes, that type of thing. It's just like easy mode. And so I think it's plenty of cab space here. We've got enough room for the kids, for Frankie, for me and you. So, the nice thing about this truck is, it's expensive, so it has all this good stuff. I really love the adaptive cruise control. Mm-hmm. It has all of the cameras that let us do that. They also let us get a good rear view, and it also puts on this giant screen over here. It puts the overhead view, which is actually just pieced together from all the cameras, but you can see
so much
everything around you. And I thought having this truck would be impossible to park. It would be impossible to parallel park, especially. But honestly, it's easier than the Subaru because of all of the cameras. It makes it so easy. It has cameras and sensors. The thing we like for towing is it does have a onboard air compressor that is essentially factory airbags. So when the load increases, it automatically levels itself out. It's super fun to watch.
And we can lower it when we need
yes,
to.
so there's this little button in here. I don't know if you can get in there close enough, but we've got this alternate trailer height button. And that just lets us do lower, basically take the air out of it, right? So that comes in handy when we're hitched up and we want to level out the rig, but it's a little bit high in front. We can just hit that button and level it right out. All your standard stuff, like I talked about the ACC already, we've got that. You can do regular cruise control as well. But it has this giant screen, which we love. It does have four-wheel drive, but it's a switch into it, so high or low, similar to a Jeep if you've driven that. It's not all-wheel drive like a Subaru. The giant screen is nice. If I had my keys, I could turn it on and show you. It divides it into two CarPlay screens essentially, or there's one CarPlay screen on top and shows media on the bottom. And then we added a bunch of stuff too, because even with all that stuff, it's not enough, right? We got to have our rear view cam that's connected to the camera on the back of the Airstream, because especially when we're backing into a site or even on the highway, it's nice to see what's behind the Airstream. Actually, that's super helpful when passing on the highway, because if you see someone in the camera, it's definitely behind you. We've also got our other GoPro for recording stuff there. We have our classic Road Atlas. It's a little worse for the wear, but when we get really bored on car drives, we can look at that. And then we've got our tire monitor, and that's for the TPMS for the rig. Which has come in handy more than once. We do have the option for built-in TPMS, which we were using with the Cougar, but the tire minder tells us temperature as well, and it's just I don't know, a little bit nicer. And so this is the real reason we have a truck, for the truck part. I mean, the bed, that's what they call it, right?
It's the truck part.
It's a bit of a mess. But if we ignore the trash, got this awesome rollback tonneau cover. That thing costs more money than anything else in this truck. stupid how expensive that is, but I freaking love it. It is so convenient. The only thing I don't love is when you install it, you put in these little tubes to run the water down and out so it doesn't get in the truck bed. But if you put anything underneath the back of it, eventually they're going to knock out those tubes, and that happened to us, and there's like not a good way to put them back in without taking the whole freaking thing off. So yeah, our bed just gets wet, which is less than ideal, to say the least. It's a bit taken apart right now. We could probably cut in some video that shows it put together, but we've got plenty of room here. This is where we put the cooler, hoses, and all that stuff. All of our chairs, which we have down right now, actually go up here in the roof basket. So that's a super handy place for those. And then we carry a generator. I don't think we've used it this entire trip, but you know, it's nice to have it just in case. We also carry in here 4 of these Husky bins. These are my favorite thing. They're waterproof. Everything in these, like this one holds our Starlink stuff just really nicely. Everything stays clean, dry, and where I put it. And they, you know, they can stack 2 on top of each other under the roller cover. So we have 1 for the sewer, 1 for the Starlink, 1 for JoJo's toys, and 1 for tools, our toys. So, although those tools we don't use all that much.
No, it's the stuff we don't get into as often.
Yeah. So we do have Solus. I don't know if you can like get down in here. We got Solo stove here. We've got gas jerry cans for the generator. We have a bike pump. We have a scooter that gets used sometimes. We've got our deployable solar panel. Man, try and say that 5 times fast. And then underneath that deployable solar panel, underneath that is a crate for Frankie that we haven't gotten out either. We traveled with it in the Airstream before when he was littler and thought we'd have it with us just in case, but we haven't needed it. He's good. Other side.
Oh God,
careful there. So this is where we put our sea gear mat. It's just the bag for it right now, but because that's out in our campsite. That fits there. We've got like these traffic cones. They just kind of float around. There's no specific spot for them. They just kind of sit in there wherever. But
they used to be in the tool bin, but we get them out too often.
Yeah, I love these because you can just like, if you're in a parking lot and you're afraid of someone parking in front of you and blocking you in, put it in front of you. I have more than once put it on top of the Starlink cord in a campground. When I have the Starlink.
When the mowers are out.
Exactly, when I have the Starlink away from the rig and they're out mowing, I'm like, don't mow over my Starlink cord. So.
This was a direct recommendation from KYD.
That's true, yep. Absolutely.
Useful for sure.
Those are sweet. We have, here, can I get up here?
Yeah.
So this is like a handy step here. It comes built in. Other thing we have in here, actually I'm gonna have to pull this table up first before I can pull that out. This is all very crammed in here. Just exactly so. So this is a like work table basically. That's what we use it for, almost like a desk when we get out the screen tent. Yeah. You're gonna see the screen tents here too. We didn't get it out here. Oh. So this just folds out. This is like half of the top of it. Super nice to have with us, but we probably, you know, it's kind of heavy and a pain to pack.
I think it's probably not coming on our next big trip, but we'll see.
Yeah, probably not. This, I don't know. Don't get dirt in your house. Get the sand off your feet. These, we have 2 bags like this. Are super lightweight, awesome. We've used them forever. Little folding tables.
I can't see your face at all.
Hi. There are little folding tables.
Yeah.
So here, I can get one out. This is the side.
It's not a gear video. It's a truck video.
Okay, fine. Truck video, gear video. It's all the same to me.
It isn't.
Fold-up table.
Yeah, it's a great
Love it. Fits nicely in the truck, although these are what pushed our little tubes out there.
Because we jammed them under there.
Uh-huh. So, all that is awesome, and then the thing that I had to get that out for to show you is another gear thing. So, not a gear video, but we gotta have this.
Yes.
This is like our 3rd air compressor that we've got, and this is the one that's stuck.
Yep.
Although, here, I'll get down so you can see my face.
Love the tops.
Thank you. So this another KYD recommendation.
Yes.
And we didn't get it at first because we were like, it's so damn expensive.
Right.
Oops, I can't curse on here. We didn't get it at first because we're like, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
But the Viair is really the best.
Yeah.
It's like 300 bucks, or it was when we got it. I don't know, inflation, right? But this thing, it airs stuff up so fast.
Yeah.
It's like using air at the gas station or whatever.
Yep.
And it takes a really long time for it to overheat until you need to give it some time to cool off. Like, we filled up all of our tires on the truck and the rig, and then let Jason and Abby use it for their truck when we were together at like a state park in Oregon.
Yeah.
And it still was going strong.
Yeah.
So it's great. Love it. Can't say enough about it. It's super fast too. Way faster airing up tires compared to any other like home air pump I've had.
Yep. All right.
Specific roll top cover is because it pairs nicely with this Yakima overhaul rack.
Yes.
This thing is, I love it and hate it. I mostly love it. So I hate it because climbing up to get the stuff on and off of it is a bit of a pain, but I don't know where I'd rather have it. It's, you know, having the bikes up this high and having the chairs up there is actually pretty easy to get to them overall. Like, I can just stand on the tailgate and pretty easily get these on and off. So we have the bike racks on top of there, we've got the gear basket, and it's up high because that way, number one, we have a clear view through the back of the truck, which is nice when you're not towing. When you're towing, it really wouldn't matter. But number two, I like it up high. There's another reason. Oh yeah, so I can get to stuff in the bed.
Yeah.
Especially from the sides, like I was showing you, I can.
You wouldn't be able to
in
get
there.
it if it was lower.
If it was down here, which like a lot of them are that go over the truck bed, you'd have to have like a shelf.
And we could
a shelf
keep this
system,
lower if we wanted to.
like a bed,
have it up a little bit.
like a bed slide, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, that adjusts up and down, but it doesn't go all the way down like some of them.
Yep.
So we super love that. You know, we were in between that and on top of the cab. I think this is easier to get to than stuff would be if it was on top of the cab, by a lot. But we still like to have our step stool to kind of get up and down there. Yeah. I don't know. It's diesel, which love it and hate it. You know, we can go through the truck lanes, which is awesome. Actually, when you're pretty long, that's super handy to be able to go through the truck lanes to fill up.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not even with the DEF stuff, it's not as clean burning. Our fuel mileage is closer, is like better towing than a gasser would be towing, but it's still like crap. So someday we'll probably move away from a diesel, but we've had it for a few years and we'll probably have it for quite a few more, because this thing is going to last. We have had a few problems with it. I don't know if we want to talk about those.
I mean, we can. It's not like... What? You mean like driving from New Hampshire to Mexico and up to Alaska with the check engine light on?
Yeah, so, I mean...
That was just the DEF dosing injector, though.
This isn't the first Chrysler vehicle we've had, and I think I haven't had one that hasn't had the check engine light go off.
But they were all drivable. It was fine.
But it's weird like that, yeah. So we took it in several times with the check engine light, and like it would get fixed and then it would go off again. It was finally figured out it was the DEF dosing injector needed replaced, which basically meant it was drivable, it was just fine. We weren't in limp mode or anything, but it just wasn't using as much DEF as it should have been, and so it wasn't getting it wasn't reducing emissions as much as it could have been.
Yeah.
So that's good, we've got that replaced now. But after being in one place in Leavenworth for most of the winter and doing up and down the mountain all the time for the ski resort, eventually we started getting check engine light for diesel particulate filter and regen and like what was it with the turbo? Like low.
It all ended up being like DPF stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually super handy. I don't know if you drive a diesel, if you put any additives in it. We never did. But then after a little bit of research, Jamie figured out, oh hey, a lot of people with this problem just try out these additives, put them in there, and lo and behold, the check engine light goes away. So I don't know, just helps it, like kind of cleans it out. After we've had it for a while, it makes sense that, you know, eventually it's gonna need that sort of thing. So a lot of times people say to me, Clay, for that rig, do you really need the dually? And my answer to that is absolutely not. However, the only time I hate it is when we're buying new tires. Most of the time I'm just happy for the extra payload. If you've got a big truck anyway, like especially a long bed, like another extra tire width is not going to make a difference. And like I said earlier, I can park it just fine with all the cameras. Yeah, so could I, with the Airstream, go down to like a 3500 single rear wheel? Yes. Could I probably go down to a 2500? Also yes. But like, it's not going to be that big of a difference to where it's worth switching. We got with this for the fifth wheel, and yeah, we're keeping it.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of LFTR Diaries. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also find our podcast every Sunday wherever you get your podcasts, or subscribe to our Substack at lettersfromtheroadpod.com. We'll see you down the road.